All right, hi everyone. I have Sophia with me today. We are going to get into Hive right, check out Ruby. Actually, I don't know if we'll find Ruby, but we're going to check our flow frames. We're going to kind of see where they're at. They are putting nectar in the ends here, which I believe during the night they move into the honey cells in the middle of the frame. So we'll see if they've started capping anything on the middle of the frames yet, see where they've gotten. I have one frame I need to move from the brood box up to this one. So they are definitely filling things up though. Each hive right now has nectar in all the cells. I mean, it's all over the place, but like I said, I think during the night they move that up and into the cells that they're packing and capping. So we'll get in here, check this one out, see if they're messing around with the honey stores. Oh yeah, she's in there working, huh? Just in there working away. We're gonna look at our honey frames and see if they've messed with those at all, started eating back at them, because the nectar flow slowed down for sure, or maybe they even started moving some of it up. So we'll check that out too. But we will get started. Are you ready, Soph?
Yep.
All right, here we go. All right, let's get into this one and check it out. I am gonna take a quick peek in the honey super real quick, just to see what those flow frames look like. So let's get into that first. Definitely just packed with bees.
Look at all those spikes right there from all of it glued.
It's from them gluing the lid down, huh? So we have our one frame we moved up here. I don't know. It's hard to tell if they've started doing anything on these. We're gonna check these out real quick here. Let's see where they've got on this back one.
Why do you have the back one a real one?
So this is one they were drawing comb on.
Dad, why do you have the back one a real one?
All these ones are real ones. So I can't completely pull this out because they've cross-combed it a little bit. They are putting nectar in it, so they're filling it up. Unfortunately, they are cross-combing it though, so I might try and fix that, because that's actually one of the frames that I want to get to, so I can swap out that one that they're not using. Let's see what this one looks like on the back side here. Oh, so they've got nectar in this. This is another one they drew out themselves, but they're putting nectar in it. Not capping anything yet though, so that's cool. It doesn't look like that flow frame has any caps on it. Let's see real quick here if I can get to one of these things. We can maybe pull one out. The interesting thing is I've never tried to pull a flow frame out before. So we'll see what this looks like. Alright. So they have nectar in this thing, but they have not started building the frame out or capping anything yet. And they don't have, you can kind of show in there too, Soph, in the hive. They don't have anything inside yet either, so that's cool. We'll put these back and just kind of let them keep doing their thing. Looks like they're just going to need more time. It's always a little interesting on the first go around trying to get the flow frames established. So first now I get to figure out
how to put them back in.
Get this thing back in here. So
we probably shouldn't have taken that out.
All right. Looks like it's back. Right. Yep, we're in. Just a quick peek here. front here, which we're not. That's what I was worried about. There we go. There we go. Now we're back here.
Daddy.
Yeah.
Can we open that one up? That little square thing? I mean rectangle. That rectangle box right there?
Yeah, you want to film that real quick?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you're going to see what we saw through there. Plus, we pulled the frame out, so...
But it's
So there's not much to see right now.
Yeah.
So... Alright. So, we'll get into that bottom one.
That has like a tan mark.
And see, yeah, that's where the sun isn't hitting it anymore. We'll see if we can swap these out when we get into that bottom one. So we'll take a quick pause and get into the bottom and show you what we're doing down there. Alright, we're going to get into this lower box. You can see the queen excluder. They're definitely moving through it. Pop that off and then we'll check a few of those frames and kind of see what they've drawn out on them. So
Look at all that.
oh, that thing's
Look.
solid.
Glued on.
Oh yeah, they glued it on good.
Look at that huge chunk of just like...
So this is the frame that I moved down that has no wires on it. So this is the one I wanted to check to make sure they didn't continue cross-combing it. And it looks like they did not, which is good. So we definitely got them to stop doing that. Make sure our queen's not on here since we are down below the queen excluder now. If you see her, you just let me know. Okay? So they do have this thing packed with honey, and right here, Soph, they have started capping it. So that is being capped now. But since they don't have it capped yet, I think I might leave it down here. Let's see what some of our other frames look like. So,
It's getting a little hectic.
yep, that's why we got our gear on, right? Oh yeah. So these are
That's
still
all solid honey.
completely capped, solid honey, both sides. We're just gonna go through this top box real quick, so to
The
see
whole
what all of
thing?
them look like.
Dad, the whole thing?
Just this top one.
Okay.
Gotta see what they all look like. Oh yeah,
But
they're
it's gonna
still
be
all
hectic.
completely capped out.
I'm guessing that for all the other ones as well.
Yeah, probably. But we'll check real quick while we're in here. Completely capped, both sides. Doesn't look like they're getting into too much of it, so they might have a small nectar flow going still. Doesn't look like they're eating on any of their honey reserves, so
If they could move all that to the top box, that would just be awesome.
that would be awesome. Now, this frame, which is actually good, check this out, Soph.
What?
That is all brood still. So it's honey around the perimeter. We got a rainbow pattern and then solid brood. Now they have backfilled the brood that's hatched with nectar.
Look, they even have a line in between.
Yeah.
To like,
Hopefully
okay,
they move that
separate.
nectar in the brood pattern up into our honey super. So that's just on, oh no, that's on both sides. So that's actually cool. That means that they're still producing new bees and haven't totally moved away from baby bees. So let's just do a quick check on these to see if they're not all that way, because that's actually good to see that they've got some brood going still.
Oh,
Okay,
brood!
great.
Yay!
Now, what could be on any of these frames? What could be on these, Soph?
Green.
Keep your eyes open, right? So that's another brood frame. So that's really good to see still, that they are using the second box, not just for honey storage. You know, that's that could also mean that they've decided to move their honey up to our honey super and use that to start storing stuff so that they can lay brood some more. So that's a good sign too. Let's just see what the rest of these look like. All right, another frame.
Why is there comb on the bottom?
Oh, they start attaching them to each other, so that's all brood right there. And let's see the back. That's all hatched brood. So she may come up here and start laying again, which is cool. So that's all good sign. We still have, that's 3 frames.
Dad, I've had
Dad,
I've had 2 bees do zigzag in my
oh,
face.
Yeah?
Yep.
We're used to that, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Alright, last frame on the side. Probably going to be honey.
Yeah,
and
it's all honey.
So that is a solid honey frame on the outside of the hive. A few drones on it, but the bees are not back eating their honey yet, which is a good sign. So
they could move all that to the top.
They could move it up. They're not eating it, which is good.
So they can move it to the top.
Yep. We'll just get this put back for them. And then I don't know, I may not move those frames around too much. Although that is a drawn frame now, and the other one's capped. So I might switch those back, just so they're back where they belong, and our unwired frames are all back up in our honey super. So I'll probably move this frame here back up into our honey super. They've almost got it packed out with nectar, so that may help them, you know, continue to move honey up into that top box. So we'll swap them out, put this back together, and let them keep going. The only thing we'll have to do after this is get back in maybe a week and do our mite checks. So good news, we'll let the other hive go because they're cranking nectar up into their top box too, and we'll check in on them next time. Bye everyone. So I wanted to check in on the hives in the morning time. You saw in the video, I'll give you a quick shot real quick here. That's the hive with the comb being drawn in it. Here's the hive with the flow frames. So you saw in the video when I was shooting these ends that they were full of a ton of nectar. And then I thought, I'm gonna come check it in the morning. And this one still has a little bit here and here, but not nearly as much as it had when we did the inspection. So I thought, I'm gonna check it in the morning just to see what the bees do with it. So I know that typically they fill their honey frames up from the middle out and the top down. So I'm like, why am I always seeing stuff in these end cells? And there's a lot of it sometimes. So what I've come to the conclusion of is that it's part of their honey network. So bees bring in nectar, they move it up through the hive, and it's dispensed into these cells, which are basically holding cells for the nectar. And then over the night, all of the worker bees inside the hive continue to process all the nectar out of those cells and move it up or into the middle cells, where they then store it as honey and cap it and keep it all in that center section. So I believe what we're seeing on these end cells is signs of what the nectar flow looks like, and if there's any, you know, flower flows going. So it's a cool way to keep our eye on how much nectar the bees are bringing in. You know, is there a dearth? Has the flow stopped? You know, are they working on honey production? And I'd say for now, there's a pretty decent flow going still. Not sure exactly what's out there for them right now, but I know there's blue mist spirea in bloom, Russian sage, which there's not really fields of that stuff, but they're definitely bringing something in still, because I do see nectar moving through these end cells. You can kind of get a good close shot here of some of the girls working the cells. like I said, cleaning that nectar out of there, turning it into honey, and moving it into the middle of the hive. So you can see her working with her proboscis. There's that one. She's pulling the nectar out of there right now. So pretty cool stuff. Like I said, just thought I'd throw that on there. I love having these view windows and being able to look at this stuff. Gives me a chance to kind of see what they do and how they move honey and what the status of the hive is. See you guys on the next one.